We first found out about
Miguel's autism diagnosis
in Utah during the pandemic.
Around 18 months, he started missing a couple of developmental milestones. And so after a couple of evaluations, he was officially diagnosed when he was 2 years old.
Yeah.
And then at that time, when he was diagnosed, Daniel was already born or on his way.
Yes. We were actually just learning more about autism. We didn't realize that autism was a whole spectrum. When we left South Carolina, we actually had 3 kids, 3 in diapers. And I remember someone had mentioned because of the boys' autism, they're actually eligible for diapers. You know, we started to look around and there were states that were just bombarded. We were waiting for 5 years in Utah. And here in South Carolina, we had gone to 1 or 2 years, which was really nice.
The issue we really had and struggled with was as our boys were getting older, finding sizes
And quality diapers that are made for kids, that are made for baby kids.
We went through a lot of struggles with potty training. As we learned with autism, they're afraid of like the potty or the sound of flushing. And so that has delayed our journey with potty training and it's made us more grateful that we have actually been able to get products, diapers and toiletries and stuff like that for them, because it's going to be still a long journey before they can become potty trained.
Yes, an honest-to-goodness smile.
My name is Rinaldo and I'm 28 years old.
Rinaldo was diagnosed with cerebral palsy almost right after birth. He was a preemie, born at 28 weeks, and he was born with a lot of problems and spent a lot of time in the hospital. I knew nothing about cerebral palsy, and I knew nothing about incontinence. Just like most parents, first-time child, young, had no idea.
I don't like diapers cause I not baby or all.
When you were little, sometimes you couldn't get to the toilet fast enough. You had aged out of diapers. We then had to find something else for you to wear, which was pull-ups. And at the time, the only thing they had were these overnights that were big enough for him. And insurance companies didn't cover them. You went from sale to sale. That was the most challenging. And then, of course, not finding them, then you were sort of stuck. That was not good.
My husband and I have 3 boys. Our middle boy, Elijah, was diagnosed with congenital adrenal hyperplasia at the age of 2. We began to see signs of puberty, and it immediately alarmed us. We reached out to his pediatrician, and they did some further testing. At the age of 2, his bones had aged him all the way to 9 years old. In addition to that, his body was not producing cortisol that's necessary to live, and it also caused issues with him walking and the development of his hips. One thing that we were having challenges with was the fact that he was growing, and we began to experiment with adult diapers. The ones we bought originally were for men, and the crouch was way too long, so it didn't work to cover him, and it cost us a lot of money that we did not have. Because we saw it being so financially draining, we looked into asking the pediatrician, is there a way that they can be prescribed? We Googled different supply companies, and Aeroflow was one of the top rated ones. It was very easy to contact a representative to get samples to try out.
I love picking my phone up.
We had an aide who came into the house who had another client who was using Aeroflow. Got in contact, had a great experience with the person on the phone the very first time. The other nice thing about it was
Aeroflow sent me different pull-ups to choose from.
Rinaldo has severely sensitive skin, and the thing that Aeroflow did, and he was thrilled about this, is they sent him like 4 or 5. Some he didn't like, some he broke out with, and then they sent him 2 more. So they really worked with him in finding something that he would be happy with. And he still uses them to this day, something like 8 years later.
We actually started trying to get supplies with a different company, and it was like
months and months of nothing.
Not just that, it's like they required a lot of paperwork.
And Aeroflow Urology, within
So
the
simple.
day,
Yeah.
even it was like, okay, your diapers, like we've got everything. It was so quick. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, when she told me that, I'm like, really? Like, I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, it was so fast. After the first month, it was like, wow, oh, look at that, the pop-up that it's time to reorder. It's so easy. Get back on there. I got really busy one month, and they even called me like, hey, we just want to see how you are. We noticed you haven't reordered. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I've been meaning to. And sometimes it's even just a simple yes. I answered back yes to the text message for both, and they're like, okay. And then I have my shipping dates within a few days, if not that same day. I, for the longest time, have been self-conscious. Shopping is sometimes very hard. Having that kind of discreetness as they come to the door, it's like a huge weight lifted off our shoulders. And because it's so easy, it's even better.
There's a lot of struggles as a parent with kids with special needs. Not just the ease, but like the economic relief of getting a set of diapers and gloves and wipes is also lifts a little bit of that burden as well.
I hope to see more individuals to embrace incontinence and know it's not something to be ashamed of, and know that there are things out there to help make life easier, whether it's something that you can utilize for travel or something you can utilize for work. With a child that's dealing with incontinence, be patient with them and know that things can get better.
You don't get to see too many people with Rinaldo's disability out in the community a whole lot. We also would like to help get out there and show that incontinence, a disability, isn't what everybody thinks it is. We don't call it disability. We call it different abilities. Just like we don't call Rinaldo nonverbal, we call him differently verbal. It's all about education, awareness. You actually have to be around people like this who have different abilities and different ways of communicating. Rinaldo, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
I love elevators, traveling, and trains.
Rinaldo goes out traveling and he goes on trains and he does all these great things and gets to meet all these great people. But I think the other wonderful thing about it is all these people get to meet him. My honest review of Aeroflow Urology is that we're still here 8 years later. Do you love your pull-ups? Would you use anything else besides? No. You love your pull-ups. Incontinence is a journey. You have to find the right product. You have to find something that's going to be comfortable and work for you. And if you can find a company that is willing to do that, then that's half the battle.